Guess who's back? Back again. Anyways, roll the clip. Hey guys, Prison Dog Pictures here, and welcome to my review of Moose in the Loose, directed, written, edited, and voiced by Harry Thomas Pictures. So anyways, the main plot of this movie is about two adults named Lucy and Jay trying to make a movie in Maine Woods, while a supernatural moose starts wreaking havoc during the making of it. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't looking forward to this movie. Mainly for one reason and one reason only.
And to those who like this remake better than the original, they seriously need help, because they can't tell the difference between a good movie and a bad one.
It's real! Holy thing. That is the most real, authentic, hysterical laugh of my entire life!
That's right, I'm not a super fan of Harry Thomas Pictures. Not him as a person, more for his priorities, as a movie critic that become noticeable the more you watch him. But for the sake of this review, I'd simply like to separate his first original project from his issues as a YouTuber. So last week I got a chance to see Moose on the Loose for my comeback, and I'm gonna be honest guys, it was okay, nothing really groundbreaking. Credit where credit is due, Harry Thomas does show his potential as a movie director. Like the emotional beats are decently executed, although it's kind of ruined by a couple glaring issues that I'll get into later. The animation is pretty unique. If there's anything that should be applauded, it's definitely the hand-drawn backgrounds and the paper cutouts, which is definitely where the director had the most fun with. And finally, the characters themselves are fairly likable, with Lucy being the most relatable out of the cast, with some emotional depth to her. However, that's all I can really say about the positives, because I think there's a lot of flaws with this movie. Like for starters, this movie is far too short and the plot itself is kind of incoherent. The movie jumps from something out of Supermassive Games to a supernatural version of The Lion King, and so way too soon. Also, there's a big twist that happens in the second act and it's never explained how they are able to do this.
You could have shown that instead of telling us. How hard would that have been to animate? Show, don't tell.
The editing isn't great either. It's very hard listening to the music when it gets cut at certain points. I can't describe the sound effects, but some of them are too quiet and they impact the more intense moments of the movie. Oh, and you can't talk about Moose in the Loose without mentioning the constant pauses that happen every time a character speaks. And I did have issues with the characters. Out of 4 of the side characters, Rose and whoever that other guy was named do next to nothing significant in the story, and even in the climax they feel like background characters. And then there's our main villain, who's just a generic I'm trying to save our environment, but in the process goes on a killing spree for the sake of it. And during the climax, they try to trick you into sympathizing with this guy, which I thought was a pretty dumb move, but whatever, he got what he deserved in the end. And speaking of characters, you know what else this movie could have done better? The voice acting. While some of it is tolerable, others are really awkward to listen to, especially Lucy. I think this movie could have benefited from more work. Heck, while I was working on this video, I saw a video from a guy named Pajik's perspective about Moose in the Loose, and I agree with him that he should get more actors and actresses to voice his characters. Maybe someday Pajik and Thomas can team up and become a classic filmmaking duo, with Pajik as the producer and Thomas as the creator. In conclusion, Moose on the Loose is a passable YouTube short film with some potential ambition for Harry Thomas Pictures. I suggest everyone to give it a chance, as it's free on YouTube. Overall I give Moose on the Loose a 6 out of 10. It's okay.
Shame he had to waste his paycheck on this.
I also have some exclusive footage of Trolls World Tour fan watching the movie. Let's see what he thinks.
Boy, that frickin' stunk!
Well, better than that abomination.
So anyways, I have nothing else planned for you guys, so stay tuned for whenever I review something like the Marvels, and be sure to look out for what the team behind the Harry and Trolls Power Hour special has in store on December 18th. I'm sure it's going to be a real doozy.
Like, Mr. and Mrs. McGregor are supposed to be an elderly couple, not young. Like, they only casted young actors for sex appeal.